Magyanasmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobestam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Tapadakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sadhana Lalita Shri Vishaka Hare Krishna Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tapsa Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranambani Panchaka Prasaro Yasriki Pasenu Devacha Ketana Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare. So today is the final day for reciting our shlokas, at least for 9 and 11. Can we start? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first, Prabhu.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, so chapter 4, text 9. Janma karma chamintavyam evam yavite tatvataha shaktvadeham punarjanma naitamamiti soarjuna. Translation: one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Okay. Chapter 4, text 11. Yayatam abrabhajante tam shataiva bhajamyaham mamavartmano vartante manushaha partha sarvasaha. Translation: as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pita. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Very flight. Wants to go next?
I can go next, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Verse 4.9. Janma karma chami devyam evam yo vititat bataha takva deham punarjanma naitimam iti so arjuna. Translations. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activity does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. 4. Verse 4.11. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajami aham mama vartmanu vartante manusha parta sarvasaha. Translation. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O son of Pirtha. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you very much. That is very wonderful. Who wants to go next?
I want to try, Prabhu. Want to go next.
You are still trying Prabhu today. Are you trying?
Yes, I want to try.
Okay, please go ahead.
Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, text 9 and text 11. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tatbataha chakta deham punarjanma naitimam eti so arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Yayathamam prapadyante tam satai babajami aham mama bartmanu bartante manusha prita sarvasaha. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. So, son of Pritha. Hare Krishna.
Oh, give him a round of applause. Babu, you didn't try. You got it. Well done. Hare Krishna. Next.
I go, Prabhu.
Jai.
4.9. Janma karma chame devyam Evam yobete tat bataha taktva diham punarjanma naite mamite so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. 4.11 Yeyatamam prapajante tamstatay babajami aham mama vartmano vartante manusyaha parta sarvasaha. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O son of Prita. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Want to go next?
Amina Prabhu.
Mother, please.
4.9, verse 4.9. Janma karma chami divyam. Evam biti tat pataham. Swakvadihan punarjanma. Na iti mamiti so Arjuna. Translation. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. 4.11 Ye yatat mam prapadyante tamsaiva bhajami aham mama vartmano vartante manusyaha parta sarvasaha. Translation. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O son of Persa. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Haribo. Thank you. Someone else? Let's be fast about it so that we don't waste so much time.
I'll go next, Prabhu.
Please.
Verse 4.9. Janma karma cha me devyam evam yo viditat vataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. Translation. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my spiritual abode, my eternal abode. Oh, Arjuna. 4.11. Yayatamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manusya partha sarvashaha. Translation. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect, O son of Pita.
Madam Yarika, you know what I like with about your glasses? You can show me what is in front of you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, someone else?
May Prabhu. 4.9 Janma karma chami divyam evam yogiti tat bataha tatvadiyam punarjanma na iti mamiti sa Arjuna. Translation. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take its birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. 4.11 Yatamam prapajanti tam satay babajami aha mama bartano bartanti manusya parta sargasaha. Translation. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mother Angel. And one thing about this is that don't think that now that we have finished it today's Friday, then I will forget it. No. I can just call you the middle of any class and say 4.9. Okay. Yes. I can just say, oh, okay. Mother Nyarika, 4.9. Rasarat Prabhu, 4.11, like that. And you have to just say it like that. Okay? Thank you. Pitamba Prabhu, you are hiding. Come out. Where are you, Pitamba Prabhu? Ah, that is you there.
Okay.
No, I will not forget you. You have to say yours. Yes.
Okay, Prabhu. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, text 9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata tyaktvam deham purna janma naitimam iti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my presence and activities does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. And then chapter 4, text 11, Ye yata me prapadyante. Tams tataiva.
You are getting it.
Tams
You are getting
tams
it.
tataiva bhajami aham. Mama manu vartante. Manusya perta sarvasa. All of them, as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Perta. Haribol.
Oh, this is for all of you. Hare Krishna. Congratulations. So we are going to continue. Like I said, in the middle of any of the classes, I can just say, Prabhu, 4.9, or you 4.11, like that. So please take notes and continue to practice again and again, because we are going to be adding more and more. So, but the one you have learned, don't forget it. Okay. Even sometimes when you are just discussing with devotee casually, you can just say, oh, Krishna said Bhagavad Gita 4.9. That when you are able to remember in such occasion, you can remember for a long time. You know, just look for a way to bring it in. Oh, Krishna said Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Janma Karma Chamedi. Just look for a way to bring it in. Then you can keep it. Okay. Hare Krishna. So yesterday, Prabhuji asked a question about Varnashram. So I decided that today we're going to divert a little bit into Varnashrama. Is that okay? Yes. Okay, so we're going to read about Varnashrama. I'm not just going to be speaking or summarizing there. I want you to directly read about Varnashrama from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, chapter 11. So we're going to be reading it together, and we'll go through the purport. We'll try as much as possible to read them together. And also in that part of the chapter, there's a discussion about chaste wife. So all of you who are trying to get married, want to get married, or who want to, preparing to get married, you can hear about what it means to be a chaste woman. Okay, so let's go on. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What is the title?
The Perfect Society
The
for
perfect
Social Classes.
society for
For social classes. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start from test 1. Oh, no, test 8. The test 1 to 8 is just the introduction. So we're going to start from test 8. Okay, no need to waste so much time. Let's start from here. It's Narada speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj. If you really want to read everything, then you are going to research yourself when you go through it. Okay? Okay, let's read from here. We're going to be reading together, because I want you to read this part of the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a book full of so much knowledge. You just have to find time to go through Bhagavatam. You will love it. Then you will know what Krishna consciousness is all about. Okay, so this is Sanskrit. It's so long, I will not read it. But I want somebody to read a verse for us. It's a very long verse also. Who wants to read?
I'll read it, Prabhu.
Please, thank you. It's a very nice verse. Yeah.
These are the general principles to be followed by all human beings.
What did this say?
Truthfulness,
Repeat that again. Sorry, I'm going to be stopping you small, little by little like that. What did you say again?
okay, Prabhu. General principles to be followed by all human beings.
Very good. Thank you. Continue.
Truthfulness, mercy, austerity, observing fast on certain days of the month, bathing twice a day, tolerance, discrimination between right and wrong, control of the mind, control of the senses, non-violence, celibacy, charity, reading of scripture, simplicity, satisfaction, rendering service to saintly persons, gradually taking leave of unnecessary engagements, observing the futility of the unnecessary activities of human society, remaining silent and grave and avoiding unnecessary talk, considering whether one is the body or the soul, distributing food equally to all living entities, both men and animals, seeing every soul, especially in the human form, as part of the Supreme Lord, hearing about the activities and instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of the saintly persons, chanting about these activities and instructions, always remembering these activities and instructions, trying to render service, performing worship, offering obeisances, becoming a servant, becoming a friend, and surrendering one's whole self. O King Yudhishthira, these 30 qualifications must be acquired in the human form of life. Simply by acquiring these qualifications, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Thank you very much. So these 30 qualities, you have to write them out. And one by one, you start taking them. Which one am I following? Because this is for all human beings. It's not like it's meant for Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudras. Ryan Prabhu, are you hearing me? These qualities, they are the preliminary qualities that all human beings should acquire, whether you are a Brahmana, you are a Kshatriya, you are a Vaishya, you are a Shudra. These are the preliminary qualities we should acquire. Are you not getting me, Ryan Prabhu? Are you there? Is Ryan Prabhu there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Means you have to always keep your hand very close to your mind because I'm going to be calling you again.
Internet connection.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
So these are the general principles to be followed by all human beings. We have to be truthful, merciful, austere. What is meaning of austerity here? What is meaning of austerity here?
Observing fast.
Okay, you didn't finish it. Bravo.
Observing fast on certain days of the month.
What does that mean?
Like Ekadashi, following Ekadashi and special celebrations like
following the Ekadashi, following the appearance day of the Lord. That is what is called austerity. So it's a must for anybody who say, I'm a human being. Not that, oh, I cannot fast. If you're a human being, you should try to fast. You should try to observe fasting. Okay. Bathing twice a day, not only taking bath in the morning and in the night, you just wash your feet and go and sleep. Then you are not to human. Okay. Human being means taking bath at least twice a day. Tolerance. Discrimination between right and wrong, control of the mind, control of the senses, non-violence, celibacy. Okay, very important for everyone. Charity, giving charity, reading the scripture like we are doing. Simplicity, satisfaction. Satisfaction, what does satisfaction mean? Satisfaction means being satisfied with whatever you have. Render service of saintly persons, like your gurus and the qualified brahmanas. Okay. And gradually taking leave of unnecessary engagement, observing the futility of the unnecessary activity of human society, remaining silent and grave and avoiding unnecessary talk. Those who talk too much should take note. Remaining silent and grave. Sometimes you should one day you should just observe the vow of silence. Today I'm not going to speak. I will just be remaining silent and grave. Grave means you look serious. Okay? You look grave. They don't know whether you are angry or you are happy. Just look grave. You look serious. Prabhuji, are you happy? Inside you are happy, but you just look serious. Prabhu, are you like that? So you look silent and grave. You look serious, like that. Okay. Avoiding unnecessary talk. Not every time you want to talk here and talk there. No. Considering whether one is a body or soul, we should meditate on that. Am I in a body or the soul? You should always think about that. We have seen many people dying, and the soul means that we are not the body. Sometimes if we don't eat for many days also, we still don't die, it's that we are not the body. So you should meditate on that. Distributing food equally. Sometimes we should feed the animals, we should feed the birds around us. Sometimes if birds are flying, if you see all those birds that come around your house, sometimes just throw grains for them, let them come every day and eating around you. And then sometimes you can distribute food to the needy also, like that. Sin every soul, especially in human form as part of the supreme law. Hearing the activities of the Lord and chanting about the activities of the Lord and following his instruction. So these things mentioned here, this category, before you can talk about the Varna ashram, every human being should try to acquire them. Are you hearing me, Prabhu Ji? This is like the foundation for the Varna. Every human being should have this. This is not for like, okay, you're a Brahmana, you should have this. No. Every human being should have this as a foundation for their life. These qualities mentioned here, okay? So now let's go to the next verse because we don't want to spend so much time. If you're interested more, you can read. I will read the next 4 parts, but not this one. So, because we're just diverting, okay? Let's go to the next verse. Okay. Yeah, somebody want to read the verse?
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes, please,
Those,
the part.
those who have been reformed by the Garbhadana ceremony and other prescribed reformatory methods, performed with Vedic mantras and without interruption, and who have been approved by Lord Brahma, are Dvijas or twice born. Such Brahmanas, Satriyas, and Vaishyas, purified by their family traditions and by their behavior, should worship the Lord, study the Vedas, and give charity. In this system, they should follow the principles of the 4 ashrams, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas.
You can see the beginning of properly being situated in the Varna starts with Gabadam Samskara. So even though if you are not a Brahmana, or now by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we can qualify ourselves by Brahmana, we're going to read about the Brahmanical qualities also very soon. So as a husband and wife, like Prabhu Ryan and Mother Angel, when you are ready to give birth to a child, you are supposed to perform Gabodhan Samskara. Now that you are purifying yourself, you are acquiring knowledge, you are trying to upgrade yourself to the level of a Brahmana, okay? Then when the time comes for you to procreate, to have a child, you are supposed to perform a Gabodhan Samskara. What is Gabodhan Samskara? Gabodhan Samskara means purification before you have union with your wife. And what is the Gabodhan Samskara? What is the one Prabhupada gave to us? It means that day, let's say you two, both of you have studied the cycle. You have studied, okay, if we meet this day, then my wife can become pregnant. So both of you have studied very nicely. So on that day, before coming together, a day before that day, on that day, you people are going to chant 50 rounds. The wife will chant 50 rounds. The husband will chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. Okay. By the time you finish chanting 50 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, you will not have taste to meet again. But still, you have to meet because you are thinking of meeting to bring him. Now in your mind, you can think of a child you want to bring. Like Krishna, this is a service for you. So when you are meeting with your wife, you think of a child you want to bring. And when that click, you'll be surprised you have a wonderful child. Generally, devotees, they don't become patient to do this. But if you can do it, you have a wonderful child. Okay. That is how to consciously invite the kind of child you want in this world. Okay. So that is Gabodhan Samskara. So if you do this purificatory process and you bring such a qualified child in this world, then gradually you can train that child to get these higher qualities of a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya, like that. Okay? That is Gabodhan Samskara. That is purificatory process for taking in pregnancy. Okay? So let's read quickly the purpose. Let somebody read. Right, Prabhu, you want to read? Hey, Papa, are you there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Read. Can
Okay.
you see?
Yes. After giving a general list of 30 qualifications for one's behavior, Narada Muni now describes the principle of the form varnas and for ashramas. A human being must be trained in the above-mentioned 30 qualities. Otherwise, he is not even a human being. Then, among such qualified persons, the varnashrama process should be introduced. In the varnashrama system, the first ceremony for purification is Gabardana, which is performed with mantras at the time of sex for propagating a good child. One who uses sex life not for sensual pleasure but only to beget children according to reformatory method is also accepted as a brahmachari. One should not waste semen on sensual pleasure, violating the principles of Vedic life. Restraint in sex is possible, however, only when the populace is trained in the above-mentioned 30 qualities. Otherwise, it is not possible. Even if one is born in the family of Jibyas or twice born, if they have not followed the reformatory process, he is called Jibya Bandhu, one not of the twice born, but a friend of a twice born. The whole purpose of this system is to create good population as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Varna Sankara. And when the Varna Sankara...
From here.
Okay. And when the Varna Sanskara population increases, the situation of the entire world become hellish. Therefore...
No, it's from here. You jump.
As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, when women are populated, the populace in Varna Sankara, and when the Varna Sankara population increases, the situation of the entire world becomes hellish. Therefore, all the Vedic literature strongly warns against creating Varna Sankara population. When there is a Varna Sankara population, the people cannot be properly controlled for peace and prosperity, regardless of great legislative assemblies, parliaments, and similar bodies. Hare Krishna.
So we need very good, wonderful, strong children in this world. And devotees, they are the only one who can consciously bring those children who will help this world. So we should always remember when we are married, before we go into a union with the partners, we should perform this purificatory process. Very, very important. Then you can consciously invite the child you want into this world. Let's say, for example, you want to bring a godly child who will be the ruler of the country in the future. You can consciously bring your child. The child will come. It will be very powerful, like that. Okay. If you don't consciously bring a child, then whatever nature gives you, you have to accept. Maybe a criminal or someone nonsense child or whatever child. But when you consciously bring your child, you know, like you're going to market, you have the money, you buy what you want, like that. So you can have a wonderful child. So this Gabodan Samskara has to be performed. Let's read the second line, let's go to the next. Move. Okay. Let's read translation. So for a Brahmana, there are 6 occupational duties. A Kshatriya should not accept charity, but they may perform the other 5 of these duties. A king or a Kshatriya is not allowed to levy tax on Brahmana, but he may make his livelihood by levying minimum taxes, custom duties, and penalty fines upon his other subjects. So what are the duties of a Brahmana? Like we're talking about Varnashram Dharma now. So what are the duties of a Brahmana? Prabhupada explained in the purport. Let's read. Somebody want to read?
I will, Prabhu.
Please go ahead. Without wasting time.
Visvanatha Chakravarti Thakura explains the position of Brahmanas and Kshatriyas as follows. Brahmanas have 6 occupational duties, of which 3 are compulsory, namely studying the Vedas, worshipping the deity, and giving charity.
Wait, Babu. So Brahmana has 3 occupational duty, and 3 are what? Compulsory. What are those 3 that are compulsory for a Brahmana? When you say you are a Brahmana, these 3 are compulsory. What was that? What are those 3?
Vedas, worshipping deity, and giving charity.
Studying the Vedas, worshiping the deity, and giving charity. Okay.
By teaching, by inducing others to worship the deity, and by accepting gifts, the Brahmanas receive the necessities of life. This is also confirmed in the Manu Samhita, sa nam tu karma nam asya trini karmani jivika yajanadhyapana yajanadhyapane chaiba Pratigrantha. Of the 6 occupational duties of the Brahmanas, 3 are compulsory, namely worship of the deity, study of the Vedas, and the giving of charity. In exchange, a Brahmana should receive charity, and this should be his means of livelihood. A Brahmana cannot take up any occupational duty for his livelihood. The Shastras especially stress that if one claims to be a Brahmana, he cannot engage in any service of anyone else. Otherwise, he at once falls from his position and becomes a Sudra. Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami belong to a very respectful family, but because they engage in the service of Nawab Hussain Shah, not even as ordinary clerks, but as ministers, they were ostracized from Brahminical society. Indeed, they became like Mohammedans and even changed their names. Unless a Brahmana is very pure, he cannot accept charity from others. Charity should be given to those who are pure. Even if one is born in a family of Brahmanas, if one acts as a Sudra, one cannot accept charity, for this is strictly prohibited. Although the Kshatriyas are almost as qualified as the Brahmanas, even they cannot accept charity. This is strictly prohibited in this verse by the word apratigraha. What to speak of the lower social orders, even the Kshatriyas must not accept charity. The king or government may levy taxes upon the citizens in various ways by revenue duties, custom duties, realization of fines, and so on, provided the king is able to give full protection to his subjects to assure the security of their life and property. Unless he is able to give protection, he cannot levy taxes. However, a king must not levy any tax upon the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas fully engaged in Krishna consciousness.
Very much, Prabhu. So, what are the duties of a Brahmana? Ryan Prabhu, can you tell us quickly, without wasting so much time, based on what we just read?
There are 6 occupational duties, and the 3 are compulsory: studying the Vedas, worshipping the deity, and giving charity. Then the Brahmana.
The other 3?
Wait. And here, a Brahmana cannot take up any occupational duty for his livelihood.
No. What are the other 3? It's supposed to be 6.
Wait.
You want me to tell you?
Wait, nabasa ko yun dito.
Yan, padam, dan, partilya. You want me to tell you?
Yes, Prabhu.
So there are 6 major occupational duties for a Brahmana. One is studying the Vedas, the other one is worshiping the deity, and the other one is giving charity. The other 3 is teaching others. And number 5 is inducing others to worship the deities. And number 6 is accepting charity. These are the major 6 duties of a Brahmana. So when somebody says, I'm a Brahmana, this is what it means. And you can see in that purport, Prabhupada strictly warned that unless you are pure, you should not take charity. Means that unless one is pure, one should not base his livelihood on others' charity. Okay, because when you take other people's money in form of a charity and you are not living a pure life, you cannot digest their karma. You cannot digest their karma because if you are not living a pure life, you cannot digest their karma. So only a pure Brahmana can take charity as a means of livelihood. Others have to perform their duty. Even a Kshatriya who is very close to a Brahmana cannot live on others' charity. He has to perform his own duty. Okay? Is that clear? So that is clear about Brahmana. Let's continue. Okay. Okay, translation. The mercantile community should always follow the direction of the Brahmanas and engage in such occupational duty as agriculture, trade, and protection of cows. For the Shudras, only duty is to accept a master from a higher social order and engage in the service. So what is the duty of Kshatriya? If duty of a Kshatriya, like mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, also little was mentioned here, is to protect the citizen, and by protecting them and taking care of the citizen, he can levy taxes on them. Okay, that is how a Kshatriya can generate his own income. His major duty is to protect the citizen. That is, when we talk about Kshatriya, we are talking about the administrative class, the leader. Okay, that is Kshatriya. But the Vaishya here, the business class of people, should always follow the direction of the Brahmana and engage in occupational duty of as agriculture. So when you say you are a Vaishya, means either you are a farmer, or you are a businessman, trader, or you are protecting the cows. That is the duty of a Vaishya. Okay, and for the Shudras, the duty of a Shudra is to serve the other class, the other social order. Means, we will talk more about this later. Let's continue. Sometimes we think we are Brahmanas, but we don't behave like Brahmanas. So we are going to talk about that one, because there are qualities to show that you are a Brahmana. Okay, let's read this. As an alternative, this is an alternative a Brahmana may also take to a Vaishya occupation. So a Brahmana is allowed to take a Vaishya occupation in the times of emergency. That is, if a Brahmana now has no one to teach or has no deity to worship, and because of that, he cannot get charity or give charity. So he can take the occupational duty of a Vaishya. Okay, he can go for farming. He can be a farmer. He can do the business. A Brahmana can do business. Can protect the cows. Okay, it may depend on other which he has received without begging, and like that. So he may beg in the paddy field every day. He may collect paddy left in the field by his proprietor, or he may collect food grains left there, here and there, of a grain dealers. These are four means of a livelihood that may also be adopted by a Brahmanas. So this is this is alternative for a Brahmanas. Okay, if a Brahmana will not live his life based on teaching the scripture, studying the scripture, worshiping the deity, accepting charity and giving charity, if he cannot live his life based on that, he's allowed to go into business. Okay, he's allowed to go into cow protection. He's allowed to do trading. Okay, agriculture. Also, it may depend on which he has received without begging. Means somebody just say, "Oh, Prabhuji, you are a very wonderful Prabhu. You inspire me so much. Oh, take." It's not that he's begging for it. If somebody just give him, like that. So whatever he receives without begging, also he can accept, and he may beg in the paddy field every day. He may collect paddy field. Whatever people left around, he can take them also. And he may collect fruit grains and like that. So these are the occupation of livelihood that can be adopted by a Brahmana among these four. Each of them is succession is better than the other. So it means when you look at them, these 4 other alternative duties that Brahmana can take, the best is to take the duty of a Vaishya. If he cannot do that, then whatever he receives without begging is okay. And if he cannot do that, and all these other ones that precede, he can follow like that. Okay. So Papa mentioned a very short one. A Brahmana is sometimes offered land and cow in charity. And just for his livelihood, he may act in the same way as a Vaishya by cultivating land, giving protection, or cow and trading off his surpluses. A better process, however, is to pick up grain from the field or from a dealer shop without begging, like that. So it means that somehow or the other, if a Brahmana can do without depending on others, is very, very important for him as a Brahmana. Okay? Any question, comments? Okay, let's continue. Except in the time of emergency, lower persons should not accept the occupation duty of those who are higher. When there is such an emergency, of course, everyone but the Kshatriya may accept the means of livelihood of others. Okay, see. Okay, as a Shudra, you cannot accept the duty of a Vaishya or a Kshatriya like that. So, except the time of emergency. Okay? Let's read Prabhupada's purpose. It's very nice. You can understand. Somebody want to read?
Okay, I read, Prabhu. The occupational duty of a Brahmana should not be accepted by persons in lower social orders, especially Vaishyas and Sudras. For example, an occupational duty of Brahmana is to teach Vedic knowledge, but unless there is an emergency, this professional duty should not be accepted by the Satriyas, Vaishyas, or Sudras. Even the Satriyas cannot accept the duties of a Brahmana unless there is an emergency. And then, even if he does so, he should not accept charity from anyone else. Sometimes Brahmanas protest against our Krishna consciousness movement for creating Brahmanas from Europeans, or in other words, from Lekshas and Yavanas. This movement, however, is here supported in Srimad Bhagavatam. At the present moment, society is in a chaotic condition, and everyone has given up the cultivation of spiritual life, which is especially meant for the Brahmanas. Because spiritual culture has been stopped all over the world, there is now an emergency, and therefore it is now time to train those who are considered lower and condemned so that they may become Brahmanas and take up the work of spiritual progress. The spiritual progress of human society has been stopped, and this should be considered an emergency. Here is solid support from Narada Muni of the movement called known as Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
So let me tell you one thing about being a Brahmana or born in a higher class. See, I always give this a good example. Many of us, we are Shudras, or we are born from a Shudra, or very, very low class family, where our parents, they don't know about, all these Vedic principles. They eat meat, they eat hog or pig. They eat all this kind of animal before we are begotten, So we are born from a very low, below even Shudra's class, many of us. Let me tell you when you talk about a Brahmana, some of us, we cannot even imagine what it means to be a real Brahmana. Let me give you an example. For example, if you have a limousine car, can you compare it to the ordinary Toyota car? Are you hearing me?
What kind of car?
Limousine.
Limousine.
Yeah. Can you compare it to a Toyota car?
No.
Why?
You said compare?
Yeah, why?
A limousine is luxurious car.
For
Very
me,
good.
yes.
Very good. It's luxurious. Very nice answer. It's a luxurious car. There's much comfort. Similarly, according to the place we are born, we get a particular body.
So when they say a Brahmana body, you cannot even understand what it means to be a Brahmana. A Brahmana means is self-controlled by nature, is austere, tolerance, purity, religious by nature. His body is made up of that nature, by nature, because he's born in that family. So he has such body that can practice those good quality of godliness. So let's say, for example, now, if somebody who is born in a Brahmana family, it's easier for him to be a celibate student. He can marry and have sex with his wife only for just begetting a children, because that is how his nature is. He's in the mood of goodness, So some of us who are born in a very low class millennial Yavana family, we cannot understand what it means when we talk about sense control. We are struggling with our senses, But these people who are born in this higher class, naturally, just like a Kshatriya. A Kshatriya body is very strong. That is why you see people like Bhima or Arjuna, you can see they have so much strength. That is how their body is built. That's why I said that the difference between a limousine and an ordinary Toyota. Because according to this guna karma, the nature of the body they have, portray that kind of the caste system. But in the age of Kali, it is mentioned that everybody is Kalu Shudra Sambhavan. It's born Shudras. Okay, but still that does not mean that they're not Brahmanas. That is why Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that many Brahmanas are criticizing him in India. That's why is he, spreading this message to making these Europeans and militias and Yavanas into Brahmanas. And Prabhupada said the only reason is because there is emergency in the world now. So Krishna said we need to create more Brahmanas for the world. And that is only on that qualifications, and many of us are given to become a Brahmana. Not that we start becoming proud that we are Brahmana and you take your rope like this and think that you are already a Brahmana without developing the qualities. The qualities are what make a Brahmana, not just because you are given a rope. That rope can be bought in India for only 2 rupees. Okay, if you don't endeavor to develop the qualities, you are not better than some ordinary person who buy the rope and just hang it and claim it to be a Brahmana. Okay, it's the qualities that make one a Brahmana. Okay, so let's read the other one. Very good. Okay. Here they say, in the time of emergency, women accept any of the various type of profession, known as Rita, Amrita. These are different. I will just jump this because we don't have so much time. It's for different lower classes. Let's read the purport alone. Somebody want to read the purport?
I'll read.
Yes, please.
Okay, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 13, Chaturvarnya maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. Should I continue, Prabhu?
Yeah, please continue.
I mean the verse.
Yes, continue. No. Don't press the verse. Continue with the reading.
Okay, so the 4 divisions of human society were created by the Supreme Lord, and according to the 3 modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them. Formerly, the principle of dividing human society into 4 sections, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, was strictly followed, but because of the gradual neglect of the Varnashram principles, Varna Sankara population developed and the entire institution has now been lost. In this age of Kali, practically everyone is a Sudra. Kalau Sudra, Sambhava, and finding anyone who is a Brahman, Kshatriya, or Vaishya is very difficult. Although the Krishna consciousness movement is a movement of Brahmins and Vaishnavas, it is trying to re-establish the divine Varnashram institution, for without this division of society, there cannot be peace and prosperity anywhere.
So that is why when Prabhupada wanted to leave this planet, he said The part of his mission that has not been fulfilled is creating divine Varnashram Dharma, divine Varnashram institution. This to mention here. Okay, what is Devi Varnashram Dharma? That is divine Varnashram Dharma. It means the society where there is different classes of men, but everybody is geared towards pleasing Krishna. Okay, so when there's without division in the society, there cannot be peace and prosperity, and it's very, very important. Just like we have the different division in our body, the head, the hands, the stomach, and the leg. Okay, what is the duty of the head? The leg cannot do it. What is the duty of the belly? The head cannot do it. What is the duty of the leg? The hands cannot. So these divisions are very, very important for peace and prosperity. Okay, that is why we have so much chaotic civilization now, because the legs is becoming the head. The shoulders are becoming the leaders. That democracy means the government of the people, by the people, for the people. Who are the people selecting their leaders? Those who are illiterate, who don't know what it means to be a leader. So what kind of leadership are you going to get? So this is what is going on in society today. And that is why there's so much corruption everywhere. Okay? So it's not a very long chapter. We'll try to finish it today. Okay? Now let us read the symptom of a Brahmana. Who wants to read? When you say you are a Brahmana, you must have these symptoms.
Okay, Prabhu.
I read it. Oh,
Go ahead, Prabhu. Chaitanya, please.
okay. The symptoms of a Brahmana are control of the mind, control of the senses, austerity and penance, cleanliness, satisfaction, forgiveness, simplicity, knowledge, mercy, truthfulness, and complete surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Read Papa Prabhu. It's very short.
The institution of Varnashram Dharma, the symptoms of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasi are all described. The ultimate aim is Achyutatmatvam, to think always of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna or Vishnu. To make advancement in Krishna consciousness, one has to become a Brahmana with the above mentioned symptoms.
So, thank you very much. So, if you say you are a Brahmana, you will list these qualities on your wall, on the wall of your room. All these qualities, you list them on the wall, on the wall of your rooms. Then you start ticking them one by one. Control of the mind, am I practicing that? Control of the senses, am I practicing that? Austerity, am I fasting? Am I observing Ekadasi? Penance, am I following that? Cleanliness, satisfaction, am I satisfied with whatever I have? Forgiveness, simplicity, am I simple in my life? Knowledge, am I studying the Vedas, the scripture? Mercy, am I merciful? Truthfulness, and complete surrender to them. These are the symptoms of a Brahmana. So when you have this quality, then you can say you are a Brahmana. But if you are not thinking of developing this quality, you cannot call yourself a Brahmana. Okay? You are just a friend of a Brahmana. It's okay to be a friend of a Brahmana, but don't be proud to be a Brahmana. Okay? To be influential in the battle, unconquerable, patient, challenging, and charitable, to control the body necessities, to be forgiving, to be attached to a Brahmanical culture, and to be always jolly and truthful. These are the symptoms of a Kshatriya. So when you say you are a Kshatriya, you must have these symptoms. Okay? Influential in battle, unconquerable, patient, challenging, and charitable, to control the body necessities, to be forgiving, to be attached to Brahmanical culture, to always be jolly and truthful. These are the Kshatriya qualities. Okay? Then we'll continue. Be always devoted to the demigods, the spiritual master, and the Supreme Lord Vishnu, endeavoring for advancement in religious principle, economic development, and sense gratification. Believing in the words of if they lend any money, these are the symptoms of a Vaishya. So you can see these are the qualities of a Vaishya. Okay. So some of this quality, you see some people, so you cannot blame people who are Vaishyas and exhibiting some of these qualities. Okay, because this is scriptural quality, you know. When you say you're a Vaishya, you must have some of this quality. You know, when you see a Vaishya, a good businessman, sometimes they want to gratify their senses. Because that is a part of their dharma also. Okay. Offering obeisance to the higher section of the society, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya, being always very clean, being free from duplicity, serving one's master, performing sacrifice without three mantras, not stealing, always speaking the truth and giving up protection to cowards, Brahmana. These are the something of a Shudra. When you say you are a Shudra, these are some of the qualities. Even a Shudra must be very truthful. You understand? And be free from duplicity. So now let's go. I want us to quickly go to the next one that talk more about chastity. Okay, somebody, I want Mataji to read this. Now it's time for our Mataji to unmute your mic and read.
I can read it, Prabhu.
Go ahead.
To render service to the husband, to be always favorable disposed towards the husband, to be equally well disposed towards the husband's relatives and friends, and to follow the vows of the husband. These are the 4 principles to be followed by the woman described as a chaste. Hare Krishna.
So when you say you are a chaste woman, you must be favorable to your husband, favorably disposed towards your husband. Very, very important. Favorable disposed to your husband. Don't give him so much headache. Let's read the purport. Okay, read the purport. Manda Shraya, read the purport.
It is very important for peaceful householder life that a woman follow the vow of her husband. Any disagreement with the husband's vow will disrupt family life. In this regard, Chanakya Pandita gives a very valuable instructions.
Don't worry, read English, just read English.
Okay. When there are no fights between husband and wife, the goddess of fortune automatically comes to the home. A women's education should be conducted along the lines indicated in this verse. The basic principles of a chaste woman is to be always favorable disposed toward her husband. In the Bhagavad Gita 1.40, it is said, Shritsu
No, read the English.
Okay.
Don't worry.
If the women are polluted, there will be Varna Sankara population. In modern terms, the Varna Sankara are the hippies who do not follow any regulative injunctions. Prabhuji, because you're doing the green like this, my eyes is like, sorry. Another explanation is that when the population in the Varna Sankara, no one can know who is on what platform. The Varnashram system is scientifically divides society in 4 Varnas and 4 ashrams. But in the Varna Sankara society, there are no such distinctions, and no one can know who is who. In such society, no one distinguishes between Brahmana and Kshatriya, a Vaishya and the Sudra. For the peace and happiness in the material world, Varnashram institution must be introduced. The symptoms of one's activities must be defined and one must be educated accordingly. The spiritual advancement will automatically be possible. Hare Krishna.
So that is it about chastity. Let's read more about it. Somebody want to read? Nikki, you want to read?
Okay, I'll read, Prabhu. I'll just read on my screen. Okay. Translation: a chaste woman must dress nicely and decorate herself with golden ornaments for the pleasure of her husband. Always wearing clean and attractive garments, she should sweep and clean the household with water and other liquids so that the entire house is always pure and clean. She should collect the household paraphernalia and keep the house always aromatic with incense and flowers, and must be ready to execute the desires of her husband, being modest and truthful, controlling her senses, and speaking in sweet words. A chaste woman would engage in the service of her husband with love according to time and circumstances.
Angel, are you listening? Okay, very good.
Yes, Prabhu.
What? Yeah, very good. This is how a chaste woman should behave. Okay, let's continue. But Angel, you read now.
Yeah, a chaste woman should be greedy but
Your
satisfied.
voice is very low. Start again.
Sige lang.
A chaste woman should not be greedy but satisfied in all circumstances. She must be ready, expert in handling household affairs, and should be fully conversant with the religious principles. She should speak pleasingly and truthfully, should be very careful and always clean the pure. Thus, a chaste woman should be engaged with affection and service of a husband who is not fallen.
A husband who is not falling. When they say a husband who is falling means the husband who is not following the four regulative principles. A chaste woman should not serve such husband who is not following the four regulative principles. Okay. Who wants to read again? Mother Chintia, you want to read?
No, Prabhu, because it's so small. I can
Okay,
read.
somebody else read. Who is there? Mother Nyarka, please read.
Translation, Prabhu.
Yeah, translation.
The woman who engages in the service of her husband, following strictly in the footsteps of the goddess of fortune, surely returns home back to Godhead with her devotee husband and lives very happily in Vaikuntha planets.
So once a woman becomes chaste, like as we read now, and follow the service to the husband, automatically she goes back home, back to Godhead. Okay. Now we have 5 more verses to read. Somebody want, so now this is going to talk about the miss custom. There's no need to read. Let me check. The other one was talking about the miss custom. There's no need to read about that for now. You can read it on your own. If one acts in this profession according to his position in the modes of nature, and gradually give up the activities, he attained the Nishkama stage. That is what we are reading today. What we are reading presently in Bhagavad Gita about Nishkama Karma Yoga. So when you perform your duty with knowledge, then you come to need, like now we just read about the Brahmana, the Kshatriya, the Vaishya. So find out which one you want to be. Want to be a Vaishya, want to do business, then go and do business. You want to be a Brahmana, then be a Brahmana. If you want to be a Kshatriya, go and be a Brahmana. If you want to be a Shudra, it's okay. But be a devotee of Krishna. When you perform all these things with knowledge, then you come to attain Nishkama stage, which is quarter to liberation. Become free. So let's read this one. So, somebody want to read? Remain only 2 verses. This one. This one is very nice. I will just quickly explain this one, then we will and the other one, then we'll close. Somebody want to read?
I read it, Prabhu.
Okay.
My dear king,
Yes,
if an
please.
agricultural field is cultivated again and again, the power of its production decreases, and whatever seeds are sown there are lost. Just as drop of ghee on fire never extinguish the fire, but a flood of ghee will. Similarly, overindulgence in lusty desires mitigates such desires entirely.
No, do anyone understand what is being explained in this verse? I want somebody to try to explain to me what is being explained in this verse. Going through the purport. Okay, go through the purport, read the purport, and let's see whether you understand what is explained there.
I'll read it, Prabhu. If one continuously sprinkles drops of ghee on fire, the fire will not be extinguished. But if one suddenly puts a lump of ghee on fire, the fire may possibly be extinguished entirely. Similarly, those who are too sinful and have thus been born in the lower classes are allowed to enjoy sinful activities fully, for thus there is a chance that these activities will become distasteful to them, and they will get the opportunity to be purified.
What want to explain to me? Somebody want to explain? You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Chita Chandra.
It's saying that you know, the drops of ghee on a fire never extinguish the fire, but the flood of ghee will. And so it's basically this statement is saying like when it overindulges in their materialistic desires, then at some point they will develop a they will start to detest it. They will start to find no more enjoyment in those activities, and thus they'll be able to elevate, you know, their consciousness. I was thinking of this pastime actually of the of the Prajapatis, uh the sons of the what's the name of the Prajapati?
Daksha.
Yeah, Daksha. Prajapati Daksha. And then Narada Muni, he came and made them into celibate brahmacharis. And then and then he produced another set of like 100 sons, you know. And then Narada Muni came again and he said, you should follow in the footsteps of your older brother. And then they also became celibate brahmacharis. So I mean, like, the thing is that in that pastime, Prajapati Daksha, he chastised Narada Muni. He's saying, you know, why are you telling my sons to be brahmacharis, celibate brahmacharis? How will they overcome their materialistic desires by falsely renouncing material enjoyment? First, they have to engage in material enjoyment and slowly develop a distaste for it for them to become renounced. But you have gone ahead and made them renounced. And then he chastised them, you know? So, you know, in one sense, both are true, but you can also quickly come to the stage of renunciation with the association of a pure devotee.
Thank you. So, yeah, that is the meaning of that verse. That, see, like I was giving an example in the beginning, because we are all born from different backgrounds. We come from different classes, you know, whatever. So our nature, our consciousness, completely different. Some people, they just need to enjoy, try to enjoy. Then they will lose taste in it. There's nothing there. Oh, let me serve Krishna. But meanwhile, if you try to tell those people to control their senses, it's like dropping a ghee dropping a drop of ghee inside the fire. So the desire to give up self-gratification will not be gone. Will still be there. It's like they're suppressing it. So that is what the verse is saying. That properly give an explanation in the purport. So for a lower class of people, you have to allow them to indulge in, for the simple class of people, they have to indulge in sense gratifications massively. Then the desire to give up sense gratification with, what is nothing is there. Now focus on the Lord. So some liberties have to pass through that process like that. That is what that verse is saying. So I just let me share it, because sometimes we see that in the early days, many of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, you see them, many of them took sannyasi in the early day of their life. Then after some time, some of them came down and they disappeared. They went for massive sense enjoyment. Then towards the end of their life, they came back to the movement again. Because now, nothing is here, you know. Then they came back. So some living entities just have to pass through that process for them to be able to, you know, to remove the lower nature from their life, you know, like that, something like that. Okay, so let's continue. How would I? Okay, 1 minute. I'm trying to go back to the normal mode, how to do it. Okay, okay, I got it. Where is it? Sorry, we are going to read the last verse now, then we will close for today. Sorry, we are going beyond 8 o'clock. It's because of our shloka recitation. So let's read the last verse, which is 35. Then we'll come to the end of the chapter, this chapter, very nice chapter. Okay, if one show the symptom of being a Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya or Shudra, as described above, even if he has appeared in a different class, it should be accepted according to those symptoms of classification. So Narada Muni have explained the different symptoms. So being a Brahmana is not just hanging a rope on the neck. Being a Brahmana is based on the symptoms explained before. This is what Narada Muni is saying here. Anyone who displays that symptom should be accepted as one of this class. Okay. Somebody want to read the purport? Let's read the purport.
Okay, Prabhu. Herein it is clearly stated by Narada Muni that one should not be accepted as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra according to birth. For although this is going on now, it is not accepted by the Shastras, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Chatur Varna Maya System Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. Thus, the four divisions of society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, are to be ascertained according to qualities and activities. If one was born in Brahmana family and has acquired the Brahmanical qualification, he is to be accepted as Brahmana. Otherwise, he should be considered a Brahma Bandhu. Similarly, if a Shudra acquires the quality of a Brahmana, although he was born in a Shudra family, he is not a Shudra because he has developed the qualities of Brahmana. He should be accepted as Brahmana. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant to develop these Brahmanical qualities. Regardless of the community in which one was born, if one develops the quality of Brahmana, he should be accepted as Brahmana. And he then may be offered the order of sannyas. Unless one is qualified in terms of Brahmanical symptoms, one cannot take sannyas. In designating a person, a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra, birth is not the essential symptoms. This understanding is very important. Herein, Narada Muni distinctly says that one may be accepted according to the caste of his birth if he has the corresponding qualifications, but otherwise he should not. One who has attained the qualifications of Brahmana, regardless of where he was born, should be accepted as Brahmana. Similarly, if one has developed the qualities of a Shudra or a Chandala, regardless of where he was born, he should be accepted in terms of those symptoms. Hare Krishna.
Very much, everyone. So that is all about the fourth social order. We have the fourth spiritual order also. We will not discuss about that because Ryan Prabhu only asked about the no. Should we discuss the four spiritual order also? Brahmachari, Sannyasi, the Vanaprastha, and should we discuss that also?
Next week,
Yes,
Prabhu.
What do you think?
Next week, on Monday. Yes, please.
Okay. On Monday, so we are going to go through the other four. So the chapter 12 discusses more about that, about the other four society. Okay. So very good. So in that way, we'll have full knowledge about Varnashram Dharma. Thank you very much. And let us meditate on what we have studied today. You can go back to the particular chapter, is 7 Canto, chapter 11. You can go and read it again and again and understand about this Varnashram in terms of Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. And then we should try as much as possible if we really want to become Brahmanical, because this is what the movement is created for, by Prabhupada, so that we can develop Brahmanical culture. If you really want to become a Brahmana, meditate on those qualities, symptoms of a Brahmana, and pick them one by one and try to really practice to acquire those qualities. And when you sincerely chant the holy names of Krishna, it becomes easier for you to develop those qualities. But on your own also, we should desire them. Then gradually you can acquire them. Okay. So any contribution or anything anybody want to say before we go? If not, we can just
Yeah, I have something. Prabhu Ryan.
Yes.
There are new books I delivered to the temple, the perfect questions, perfect answers.
Okay.
So if you like to go on book distribution, you can take those books and distribute them. It's a nice one.
Yes, sure, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jai, Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
before we leave,
Yeah.
Prabhu, one quick picture.
Okay, we are here.
Yes.
Where's my Tambar, Prabhu?
He has gone. Maybe he has some other
He has
duties.
gone already. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone, please look at your
Hare
cameras.
Krishna.
Smile. I'll count 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Prabhu Kavi.
Jai. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Have a nice
Thank you,
weekend. See
Prabhu
you guys
See you
on
on Monday.
Prabhuji.
And well, I'm not going to ask you to recite the shloka again, but like I told you, I can just call you in the middle of class and say, Prabhuji, 4.9.